the show that I went bonkers over, and this is an old show, is The Expanse.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about that. That's my favorite show on TV right now, bar none.
Done.
I love that show. I was from the beginning once it got released, I was like, I need to know everything about this show. This show is great. That whole concept of realism in space, because like on Star Trek, everyone's walking around, they have gravity. The Expanse is more realistic about what would be happening in space. Kind of like they have the engines to move faster, but it takes a strain on your body, all that stuff. Even with the giant ring and the whatever, but the concept overall for space travel and realistically what it's like for space battles and that kind of stuff. I love that show.
Man, what's weird is like I think this was a sci-fi show. This was on Sci-Fi, the Sci-Fi Network, and
they
Amazon picked it up.
First 4 seasons or 3 seasons, I think they had.
Right.
And then they got canceled.
Yeah.
And Amazon snatched it up real quick.
They snatched it up, man. And I'm like, you got the Martians and you got, Earth. And man, I started watching this show, Keo. You're not going to believe this, right? I stumbled onto this show.
Oh, really? Okay.
I was like, oh, this is sci-fi, and I just looked at the trailer, and every time I went to Amazon Prime Video, Amazon kept like saying, hey, you may want to check this out. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. So I started at season 4 because that's what they, gave us, right? Like up front.
Oh, you started in the middle. Oh, okay.
So then I was like, okay, well, let me watch this. And I was like, oh, okay. So I watched 3 episodes and I was like, okay, I got to go to season 1, right? Episode 1. Yeah. I watched 7 seasons. Is it 6 or 7 seasons that they're giving us up front?
6 seasons now.
I watched 6 seasons in a week and a half. Dude,
yeah, that show's incredible.
That show is incredible. That is a great word. That show is incredible because you have the actors. Again, like you said, this whole the Martians, and the Earth, and then all
the
of these the Belters.
Yeah.
Who are the? I mean, like, and if you had to like say these are the Belters, like based on like how we live today, who would the Belters be, and who would the Martians be?
I think Martians would be probably, It's the Martians are a first world country because basically they took all of the scientists,
right,
and they went to Mars. All the smart people went to Mars, and then the Belters were all the poor people that wanted to work and get out in space. Right. And they got stranded out there, and then you had generations of them stranded out there. Right. And whatever's left on Earth is America, basically.
Right.
Is in decline and still holding on to power. So
yeah, so weird because the Martians took all of like the high tech and the scientists and
all
everything.
The smart scientists, all the army people went to Mars.
And they're still not as powerful as America, Earth. The Belters, like moving on to this, the different seasons and episodes, they get stronger based on, just things that they've taken, right?
Yeah.
And
repurposed and redesigned. Yeah.
Yeah. And, the Belters, how they live is sort of the same way, like how they have a specific set of people in altered carbon. Like these people live here, right? And so it's this sort of weird sort of place, dark, people still in sleeves, and everything, it's just like, so I do see a little bit there. And that's why, like, when I finished up The Expanse, I said, let me finish watching Altered Carbon. But The Expanse is my favorite joint. I cannot wait until the next season comes up. Because
the next season's the last one, though.
It's the last one, dude.
Do you know about the books?
I don't.
Have you checked into some of the books? Yeah.
No.
So they follow the books fairly closely. Because the writers of the books are involved in the show.
Okay.
And so their books, I don't want to ruin it, but it follows the stuff pretty closely, and it's interesting. But the way they set up the show, next season's the last season.